Sparing and Truman. Very happy to bring this concert back after a break of 2 years and 1 week. This is kind of a celebration of coming back and playing, and it's a kind of a night of firsts because our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I believe this is their first percussion concert they're going to play. Another thing that's a first in 6th grade, this might be their first band concert as well. They will, and I mean live, but they will be, of course, dazzling you in May with a full band concert too, as will all the groups. We're just really excited to be out here and play for you. We're going to have 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade, a couple of fantastic soloists, and our middle school drum band that meets every Tuesday. So hopefully you can stay for the whole thing and support all the kids. And at the end, I did ask them to stick around, and as soon as this curtain opens, you'll see what kind of operation this is in terms of equipment, and we like to have a little help at the end of the concert. So I asked them to move some things to the band room for me before they take off. We will want to go ahead and start with our group that first time that they played on this stage with me, and it's our 6th grade, and our 6th grade Truman and Sparing mixed together. And the first time they played together as a full group was 30 minutes ago. And you're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed at what they can do. Trust me, you're going to be amazed. And so they're going to play Oyo Como Va. The rest of it's El Ritmo. Stands for Listen How My Beat Goes. And it's kind of got a little bit of machismo or ego to it. And you'll see that they are able to do that. And I do have some soloists. And you might recognize the song popularized by Carlos Santana. But they do have some soloists, or some folks that are kind of featured. Isaac Hewing kind of tried out for the drum set part. James Rich kind of plays the part of Tito Puente, who wrote the piece. And a couple others, but they all do a great job. So we're going to welcome the 6th grade. Thank you. We're going to welcome the 6th grade. recognize some soloists who did a great job. The first one is John Reisdeck. John will play his marimba solo. John stays busy playing vibes with the jazz ensemble at Sparing it's supposed to be Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but I see him almost every morning. Plays cello with the orchestra, is our center snare in the middle school drum line, and he's just works really hard. So he's going to play a piece by a husband-wife team. This one's by Lalo Davila and his wife Julie. They both write marimba solos. This one's called Sueños. Please welcome John Reisdeck. Okay. Standing in front of you now is the 7th grade percussion ensemble from Sparing and Truman. We're going to play a piece called Technology. written by a gentleman who started a drumline website, which was unheard of, and he's big in the drum corps world, and he writes really fun music for actually older kids. They're playing a tough piece. And this is the first installment of music he wrote. He wrote a couple that are for a lot of things that are kind of like drumline, but they're in the concert band world. So we have all the keyboards that kind of represents the pit, and we have bass drum, and we have toms, and just a lot of fun stuff. And because of that, we have some solos. Before I talk about the soloists, we have a couple people to recognize. Like John went to the Solo and Ensemble Festival and got a 1 rating. I'm not sure I mentioned that. And that was at middle school in Pattonville. And there was a judge there, and they played for them for a small audience. And it's very hard to get a 1 rating out of 5, and so John got that. And we had a couple of other kids go from 7th grade. We had Olivia Weibel and Natalie Corcoran. You raise your hand. And they played, a marimba duet that got a 2 rating, which is very, very good. And we had 2 snare soloists. Declan, please raise your hand. And also, who else did a snare solo? And Phoenix, that's right, Phoenix College did a snare solo. They both got an honor 1 rating. So we had a good representation from our 7th grade this year. Okay, and on this song we have a couple of soloists that we would like to recognize. And I wrote it down here, or I'll just remember. Phoenix is going to do a timpani solo for us. Will is going to do a snare solo for us. And I think we have kind of a group tom solo, which is Brady and Mark. So this is Technology. Rosario, who and RJ also plays on our jazz ensemble, usually drum set. RJ has the distinction of going and trying out for the all-suburban band in St. Louis, which they only take 7 percussionists, and he made it on one of the spots in the all-suburban band this year. He is our quad section leader in the middle school drum line, and he plays just about every instrument that he picks up. So he's going to play a piece for you. This one's by Julie Davila, and this is one of my favorites, Mango Bay. Next up is our 8th grade. We're getting ready for a fun and educational trip to Branson for their 8th grade band trip. So I think we're getting pretty excited about that. They will play 2 pieces for adjudicators at the band festival there. And after that, spend some time together bonding in Silver Dollar City. And I'm still good for about 3 roller coasters. So I got used to the Mamba in Kansas City. I'll have to learn some new roller coaster in Silver Dollar City. So we're going to have a good time. Their piece is a sequel kind of to the 7th grade piece. And the same gentleman wrote it. And he wrote Technology, and then he wrote a couple others. And the one we're going to play is called Storm Break, and it kind of takes it to the next level. Maybe I'll say the next part once the curtains open again. So just RJ's already back there ready for the next thing. All right. So let's see. We have some solos on Storm Break. We have a snare solo shared by Alec Rusnick and by John Reistek. We have a concert tom solo played by RJ Del Rosario. And we have a timpani solo played by Trevor James. Before we play this, I'd like to recognize another marimba soloist who went to the contest. Asher White, would you raise your hand? And he took a marimba solo and got an honor 2 rating. Please recognize Asher White. And I also want to mention that we have a xylophone leader in this group, and that's Gavin Clark. So this kid is scoring. drummer. Okay. All right, we're going to, while most of the students are transitioning to middle school drumline backstage, I wanted to show off a high school student, kind of so that we all know where this is headed. And Simon's kind of the epitome of practicing a lot and getting good at percussion. He is our next year drumline section leader in the snare section. He spends a lot of his time on the marimba, and he learned 4 mallets, and he is headed to the state competition because he made it through the district competition. So he will be headed to, like any other high schoolers that might have done that, he'll be headed to the zoo campus in Columbia in about 2 weeks, I think. So this is called Rhythm Song. It is quite an involved marimba solo. He actually shortened it in half for you all. So this is the highlights. This is Simon King playing the highlights from Rhythm Song. That was a 5-octave marimba, and so if we have that one is 4 octaves, so it goes from C to C to C to C 4 times, and that one has an extra 6 or 8 notes, and so it can play bass marimba and things like that. So serious marimba players will eventually get into literature like Simon's playing, but it's not really something you get at your house, but it's something we are very lucky to have in the school. So. We very much enjoy hearing that because it's just a lovely instrument. So, I don't know if you can tell, but I am just super proud of the kids up here tonight, and we've just been working so hard on this, and it's been a long road, but can you help show some appreciation for the whole concert so far? It's a lot to set up and do, but percussion's awesome. We enjoy doing it, and I'm glad they enjoy it. And so we kind of have our middle school drumline as our featured group on this concert, and they meet on Tuesday afternoons, and we meet at Truman because that's where I end my day. And so if you're a 6th grader or 6th grade parent, I hope that they join us next year, or if you're in 7th grade this year, I hope that you maybe can make time in it if you're not in this year and join us next year. And it really is in preparation for our high school drumline that does all the things that the marching band does, and goes on trips and goes to contests and plays at football games. So it is a very solid training ground for that, but also we just have a lot of fun and get to hang out after school and play drums even more. So, and we do have, we're lucky to have help from Mr. Linsenbart. Mr. Linsenbart is our high school percussion teacher and a longtime colleague. And could you come out so we can just show appreciation to Mr. Linsenbart? He's responsible for the keyboard section mainly, but we just do all of it together. And he's an artist when it comes to playing 4 mallets, and he's definitely my right-hand guy for helping teach those things. We have some helpers that I'll introduce to you later. There's an opportunity for high schoolers to do some tutoring as an A+ tutor, and whether they use it or not, they have the ability to then use the hours that they help these kids and get scholarships to St. Louis Community College, and I think that's a great opportunity and something that has really helped some kids over the years. And they do a lot of the work with these folks. In fact, a lot of times I'll show up and they say, can we work with the high schoolers now? When I get up there, because they just lend a cool factor to it. So I'll introduce them to you later. Some were able to make it tonight to help, but I'd like to say all their names. And I've been going off script and forgetting things, so I'll read this. And then this year helping was Aaron Davis, Hannah Dieter, Simon King, Brian Heisner, Emma Snideke, Lucy Becker, and Rachel Byerly, and a couple other came down and helped. And we will have some come out, and I'll introduce you to them personally a little bit later. But we really appreciate them doing that. So what we're going to play for you is an exercise, and then we're going to play a piece of literature that we prepared, and then we're going to play a cadence that is something that we kind of co-wrote, all the drumline kids and me, a few years back. And it's kind of a staple at our football games and at all of our parades that we do. And so we hope you enjoyed the concert, and without further ado, I'll introduce you to the middle school drumline. maybe I can have my A+ tutors come out now. It's kind of tradition, we invite them since they did so much. Simon King, Aaron Davis, Luty Becker, and Rachel Byerly. And they're going to help me conduct our next piece. So our last piece we are going to play for you is we call it the cadence at the high school. Sometimes they call it our street beat, box, ET, and pound groove. And it's highly requested anytime we do pepperellis and things like that. And it gives the pit folks, when they do the job in high school playing a keyboard, they also play cymbals, including carrying them in 5-mile parades and things like that. So they get a workout. They may not carry a drum around on the field, but they carry cymbals, and that gets you in the shoulders, trust me. And so they do some visuals, and we learned a little bit of marching, and we have fun with that. So remember, have fun. Okay? All right, so we're going to do that for you, and thanks again for coming.